Hi everyone. So today the screencast is going to be about problem-based learning, which was our module for screencast. So what is problem-based learning? This quote in the book there's a couple that I combined, really stuck out to me and kind of sums up what I think problem-based learning is. So PBL can be defined as an process that resolves questions, curiosities, doubts, and uncertainties. Student inquiry is very much an integral part of PBL, and it's a way of challenging students to become deeply involved in a quest for knowledge. So this kind of, to me, summed up a lot of what we learned about problem-based learning. So some reasons for problem-based learning, so students are processing information at higher levels. So they're going above and beyond those low levels of learning and kind of going deeper, which is what we all kind of strive to do. It's authentic pedagogy, high levels of intellectual challenge and social interaction. So no matter what level they're at, where their zone of proximal development is, all the students are kind of being challenged past that. And then a lot of problem-based learning is social interaction, which is really important. It's inquiry and choice-driven. The choice part was a big thing for me, just because I'm always trying to find ways to get more student engagement. Thinking critically to solve complex real-world problems. So this goes with the choice and the student engagement. I think that students are really interested and invested in what's going on, and this shows when we kind of open this up to them. Requires multiple exposure to and complex interactions with knowledge. So they're not just interacting with this standard once, they're kind of going deeper into it and seeing it multiple times until they really understand it and can use it towards solving these real-world problems. And then the world of work requires the very intellectual skills fostered by problem-based learning. So when you get into a job, this is what you'll be doing. And so for the students to be learning this in school is really important. What role does inquiry play in problem-based learning? Well, to me, it's pretty much the backbone of it. So inquiry is asking questions to understand and make meaning. And problem-based learning starts with a question or a problem and is furthered by asking continuous questions in order to answer that initial question. So it starts with inquiry, it starts with that big question, and then in order to answer that question, students have to keep asking and answering questions. Inquiry-based learning and project-based learning, so this is kind of just how they're similar. The teacher acts as a facilitator of learning, students building their own knowledge, open-ended questions followed by students' research and investigation, final product / presentation to demonstrate findings, and then opportunities to reflect. And then I thought the overall goal of both of them was we learn best by being curious and questioning everything. So this is kind of what both of them are based off of. And I kind of summed up from the inquiry-based learning video and then some of our problem-based learning. Opportunities for problem-based learning in my own classroom. I think the big thing for me when I was reading the Barrel book was that it needs to start with the environment. So I think I would begin by redesigning my classroom to establish an environment of inquiry. He really touched upon that in pretty much a whole chapter, and that in order to get students to inquire and to ask these questions and to be open to problem-based learning, you have to have the environment for it. So I think I'd start that by keeping an inquiry journal that I can share with the students. So not only will I be practicing my own questioning, which is important, I'll be demonstrating to the students how they can question their own learning. And then I'll incorporate the first problem-based learning unit into science or engineering. I think this would be the simplest way to introduce the students to it, since science and engineering is about this questioning and solving of a problem. I also think that I would incorporate having the students keep their own inquiry journal with this unit, and compare it to my own, just so get them more into the habit of inquiring. And then finally, I'd make sure throughout the year that I was understanding my students' interest, in order to form a problem-based learning unit question that connects to those interests. I think really getting to know the students and knowing what would spark inquiry in them would be one of the big first steps to creating that first problem-based learning unit for math or English or history. And that's all for today. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation. And we're frozen at the moment. All right, thanks.